Welcome to another post-retirement edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. This is episode number 178. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. We are recording this at 1:08 a.m. in the morning, right after UFC 285. And by we, I mean, of course, I'm always joined with my co-host, Antaku. What's going on, man? How you been?
I've been good. Been better. I'm doing all right.
It could definitely always be better. But we're here. This almost feels like DTP of old, recording an episode like right after a pay-per-view ended. So we're in retro form, I guess.
Have we ever done this when the main event was like extremely anticlimactic?
No, I don't think so. Because the last time we did it, I think, was for Conor and Habib, and that was the opposite of
that was hysterical.
Yeah, hysterical chaos. It was it was madness. Yes.
This was heavyweight. This is just quintessential heavyweight.
Yeah, it was, But we'll get to it. But yeah, we are here to talk about UFC 285. Honestly, guys, we said this was. So I realized we kind of amended our rules a little bit. So we said that there were 3 fights that we would come out of retirement for to do a podcast for.
Yes.
First was Takaru versus Tension. We got that. That was great. And I think the original thing was Jones versus. No. The original thing was when Jones loses. And then it switched to when Jones loses to Jones versus Ngannou. And then that never happened. And we just said, listen, if the guy just ever fights at heavyweight, if he just ever fights at heavyweight, don't care who he fights, we will come out of retirement and we will do another podcast. And that has happened. We just watched all 30, 45 seconds. I don't know how long. Didn't feel like it was really that long.
2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah. Went by pretty quick. And since we are doing this off the cuff, I don't really have any notes. So I guess we can just kind of jump right into this. So UFC 285, of course, went down, and
it sure did.
Yeah. It went down. Some things happened. The MMA gods were stirring up some stuff. We got some. I was cool with the night. I think there were a lot of, we got some unexpected things. We got a couple of good fights. I feel like there was a little bit of everything. It was a very MMA card. We had nut shots. We had people holding cages. We had refs.
We had many nut shots.
Yes.
I think I counted 5.
It was a lot. We had referees standing up fights after 2 seconds of somebody being on the ground. Like there was a lot of things going on.
We had the quintessential Herb Dean performance.
Yeah. he didn't notice a mouthpiece for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Very, very MMA kind of night. Just lots of wild MMA stuff going on.
Yeah, if you're like a newcomer to MMA, this was like this wasn't the best card, but this was the most MMA card you could probably get.
Yeah. It prepared you for everything else you'll see.
Just complete utter nonsense.
Got you ready for everything else you could possibly see in an MMA fight. This card gave you all of that, and plus a little more. But we will start from the top. The main event, the reason why all of us were here. Jon Jones finally came back after 3 years. It felt like longer. Don't know. It felt like an eternity. I'll be honest. I didn't think it was gonna happen.
You want to know why it felt like an eternity? Jon Jones has not fought since pre-pandemic.
That's
February
crazy.
2020.
That is crazy.
And when he did, he looked like shit.
Yeah. Well, apparently he went to the lab. He lifted some weights. He ate some burgers. He drank some Miller Lights. I'm not sure what the heavyweight regimen is, but he completed it. And I'll say before we get to this fight, How did you think this was going to go? Because I had a hard time calling this one in my head because I had so many questions. But how did you envision this going? But,
so my initial read, and I posted this, was that I thought Gane would win a close, competitive, but really boring kickboxing match. But there were like 3 things that like kept me from like posting that, because I've been posting like I thought Valentina would beat Grasso all week. Like I thought her style was just like tailor made to beat the shit out of her. But I've been quiet about Jones Gane because I was like, I can't really. One, I didn't know what John Jones would look like standing next to Cyril Gane. And when I saw them face off, I'm like, oh no, Jones is a heavyweight. Like, don't let the legs fool you. 2, Jones no longer trains at Jackson Winks. He trains at Cejudo's gym. Was it Fight Ready?
Mm.
And my whole big thing with Jones, or I don't think Fight Ready is like a particularly good camp, but Henry Cejudo makes everybody fucking wrestle, like whether you want to or not. Like if you go there, he's just going to make you like go. You're going to wrestle. You're going to be on those mats. I know it's not like just Henry Cejudo's gym. I forget the coach's name, but Jones, for whatever reason, for like the past like 3 fights since like the Smith fight, his wrestling has just completely disappeared.
Mm.
It's been very inconsequential. Like there's the dude who couldn't take down Thiago Santos, but he was training at Fight Ready, which is, like I said, like it's a gym where you're going to wrestle whether you want it or not. And 3, Gane's a fucking heavyweight, which means he's stupid. Like not like so like they're like 2 different types of stupid. There's like light heavyweight stupid, where you just make like the wrong decision in fight constantly, like the Prochaska Teixeira fight, where you can literally just basically see them playing hot potato with the title because they keep just making the wrong decisions at the wrong time.
Graciously trying to give the other one, no, you have it, sir. No, I don't want it. You have it, sir. It's like, no, I insist. I insist.
And then there's heavyweight stupid, which is just like, oh, everything's a mirage because no one's actually really good. No one even tries. Let's start with that. Like, I don't know if you call any of the embedded this week or the countdown or whatever the hell the show is called now. But it was John Jones like working out in the gym, and he's just like studying film, and it was like Cyril Gane playing FIFA.
I did hear something about him saying like he really only trains when he has a fight. Like yeah.
And then Coach Lopez was like, no, he's always in the gym, but we're working with this wrestler that we got from Dagestan and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, I knew when he said that he was fucked. Like, I wanted Jones to lose this fight. I don't like John Jones, but like as soon as I saw him on the stage next to Gane, I was just like, he's gonna beat him, isn't he?
Yeah, seeing like standalone pictures and then seeing them like in person, because I haven't kept up with any like the pre-fight anything for this. So like when I finally saw them, I was like, oh no, he actually does look like a heavyweight. I mean, his legs are still kind of skinny, but he actually does look like a heavyweight. He does look like a heavyweight.
And oh my God, so
he did the one thing. The only reason I found this fight hard to call is because I didn't know if we were gonna get I'm gonna kickbox for 5 rounds John Jones, or if we were gonna get the old John Jones, who at least mixed in his wrestling. So I was like, if we get that John Jones, then this gets really interesting, because I think if he takes any of these guys down, it might be a problem if he can keep them down, assuming that he can keep them down.
Well, that's the thing. Most of these, like, unless you're like Derek Lewis and you just straight up like a circle,
right? You just get up.
Like, yeah, like you're on your back for the whole round if you're taking that. That's the meta at heavyweight. It's just like you don't get up.
Derek Jones's takedown defense is like a video game quick time event. He just smashes X. He just gets back up.
Yeah, no.
But the rest of y'all, don't have that.
The rest of y'all, I mean, let's be real. Like, if you're 260 pounds, like, getting up off your back is probably the hardest thing you can fucking do.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense, but still, like, I don't know what the heck Gane has been working on since this fight was made, like, what, 2-3 months ago? But it wasn't getting up. Heck, it wasn't even. Oh my gosh! So, like, do you remember, like, prime Alexander Gustafsson? I think we had this conversation about, like, his footwork being, like, terrible because it was literally just when he's, like, retreating, because he'll literally just turn around and run away.
Yeah.
So Gane did not do that, but he was in the process of doing that when he got taken down, meaning he basically exposed the whole backside of his body to Jon Jones.
Right, which is a no-no.
He was still in the process of throwing the punch. I think it was like I can't remember if it was like a left jab or like a straight left that he was switching into, like, switching stances into. But Joe just grabbed his waist and just dragged him to the ground, like, with no type of resistance.
Yeah, I was surprised that even for the and this, we only working with 2 minutes about how long this fight lasted. Not a lot to pull, but from the little bit of a sample size that we got, I was actually surprised at how, I don't know, Gane looked kind of like, even on the feet, he looked kind of lackadaisical. Like,
I mean, yeah, like when Gane is so used to being the faster guy, and in a lot of cases, like, the bigger guy. Like, he's fighting dudes like Tai Tuivasa, who is big, but he's not super long, and he's not going to cover he's not going to cover distance, like, consistently with the jab like Jones did here. Like, that jab that Jones was landing on Gane, you can tell it bothered the shit out of him. But yeah, no, he just did not have an answer for
anything.
And again, we're working with 2 minutes. We're working on less than 2 minutes because he spent like a minute on the ground.
Yeah.
But like that shot he threw to get off the fence is just like, you shouldn't be on the fence in the first place.
Yeah, it's not the guy to do that with. Not the guy to do that with.
Yeah, if it's one thing when you're fighting these dudes who are, like, I don't know, slower than you, or like, you know that they're going to try to box with you and you can use your footwork to get out the way. It's another thing when you know the dude's trying to tie you up. You like, I was super happy, like, when after that first exchange where he just fakes left, fakes right, goes back left, and circles his butt back to the center of the cage, but he immediately gets back outside the black line, which is a no-no. So
I feel like he didn't know, like, none of us knew what Jon Jones was going to show up, but unfortunately he was the one that was fighting Jon Jones, so he found out. He found out what Jon Jones was showing up.
Yeah.
And
like, I did not expect Jones to look, like, ridiculously worse than he did last time. Even if he just chose to, like, kickbox with Gane just because it's heavyweight. Like, some of these dudes just show up looking terrible, and it works. You know what I mean? And it works. Yeah. So, like, even if he did, like, decline a little bit with his kickboxing or whatever, I figured he'd just show up and look more or less like himself. But yeah, no, we waited 10 years for this.
Right, and it went just like that.
There are better fights for Jon Jones at heavyweight right now. The obvious one being the actual UFC heavyweight champion,
which too late.
Which is not that's gone.
Yeah, that boat is. That boat has sailed.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even allow myself to get hyped for it. Like,
it's not happening.
I know, like, it's not.
And by the time it does happen, Francis Ngannou is going to be in his late 30s. Like, Well, I guess John Jones is too. They're both about the same age.
Yeah, but
also, Ngannou's coming off of ACL surgery, so Lord knows what he's gonna look like if he ever comes back.
Not Jones. He made that look easy. Gone down.
And guess who gets to fight next?
I'll say from the camera angle, I didn't even realize he had the choke in.
Yeah.
Because the camera angle, you couldn't fully see that he actually was under the neck. It kind of looked like one of those situations where, like, oh, he's just holding this position, but he'll probably let him go because he's probably not even all the way in. And then they showed the other angle. It's like, oh, no, that was in.
I didn't see the arm underneath the neck, but I knew that crank was real.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing when you're, like, the other guy's on their back and you're like, you have space above you, but when your back's to the cage and that guy, and like you don't know what you're doing, because let's be real, Cyril Gane has no idea what he's doing in that position. And that guy is just cranking down on your like neck and you have no space to go. It's just I can see you either panic tapping or just being in so much pain that you're like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Got him out of there. I mean, he looked good. It was only 2 minutes, but
yeah.
I was wondering if we were gonna get the wrestling, and we got the wrestling, and like it is only 2 minutes, so we can only small sample size, but
I mean, like let's be real, it's not like he's gonna go in there and get beat by Sergey Pavlovich.
Yeah, I feel like what he did to Gane, he might be able to do to a lot of.
Yeah, this is not the heavyweight division of yore where you had guys like Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos and even like a Fabricio Verdum. This is a lot of guys who can bang, and that's basically all they can do.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be taking y'all down and doing just that. He's gonna be submitting, or
being real, we know who the next fight is for Jones, and it's Stipe, and 6-7 years ago, that might have been a fun fight.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Stipe is like has not fought since what, 2021? Yeah.
And even then, I feel like the last time we saw him wasn't like.
He looked terrible.
Yeah, like.
He regrets.
I don't have any confidence that Stipe is ending this reign.
I have. If you think he's hard to hear, listen to now speak, after Jones gets done with him, I don't know if anyone's ever going to understand him ever again. He's 42 now or something.
But maybe it'll be quick. It'll be quick like this was. Like, he might not take a lot of damage. It might be we're in and we're out. Maybe.
I mean, if we're going based on guys who Francis Ngannou has taken down, John Jones can take down, then yeah, Jones probably can get Stipe down and just submit him. Would not surprise me. But I need to know how old Stipe is now.
He seemed not impressed in the post-fight interview, but you're a fighter, you're supposed to not be impressed.
You're supposed to no sell things.
Yeah, he is 40 years old.
On the dot.
Yep. Yeah, I like Stipe, one of the goats at heavyweight, but I don't see this going well, bro.
Like the last time Stipe looked good was like in 2019.
Yeah, prime.
Like, for being real,
prime years have sailed on by, my friend.
I mean, maybe he's his like Alistair Overeem. I'm in my second prime.
Nah, I don't. It would be fun to see. But I am not gonna get my hopes up.
Yeah.
So I guess before we move on to the next fight, because sorry, listen, y'all, if you saw the fight, it's not a lot to break down. He took him down, he choked him out. Like, it's nothing else to really talk about.
Yeah, we could laugh at heavyweights.
Yeah.
But I want to see him fight Curtis Blades. That's all I'll say.
That would be fun. Curtis Blades, I feel like he should be champ. But something tells me he's going to be one of those guys that, like, he's just gonna find some wacky way to lose.
Yeah.
Even against people that he's probably better than.
Yeah, we've seen it. He should have beat Derek Lewis.
Yeah, he should have.
But he panicked and Derek Lewis knocked him out.
We'll probably get that fight though, because I think we're all gonna assume that Jones probably gonna steamroll Stipe. As sad as
I don't think he will. I think Jones will retire. Like legit. Like I think Jones is just like here for like the biggest money possible and the easiest work, and he's like, there's a reason he called out Stipe. Like Curtis Blades, love him to death, but dude is not a name.
I gotta think who else on heavyweight aside from like Sergey, who's on like a notable win streak.
Nobody.
Yeah, like those are the, and
everybody's just losing.
Like, sorry. All right, who gets a title shot first? Curtis Blades or Sergey?
Sergey.
Golly,
I think they're scheduled to fight each other next. So
are they?
Yeah, but like Sergey was the backup for.
Oh yeah, he was.
Or that's the other thing. Like I was so sure Cyril Gane would pull out today, not because of anything specific, but because Pavlovich is the backup, and I knew John Jones would not take that fight if it was like if they were like, hey, Cyril Gane can't fight, you have to fight Sergey Pavlovich, because he's done this before, where he pulled out. Like, what was it, 9 days before he was supposed to fight? Well, he refused to take Chael Sonnen on short notice. That's what it was. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like, dude, let's see who else is there. Sergey Spivak.
There's not a lot going on. It's not a lot.
Maybe Jilton Almeida. Skyrockets up the rankings.
They should fast track him, and I'm normally against fast tracking, but at heavyweight,
there is no fast tracking at heavyweight. You just show up and you just start beating dudes.
That is true. And after like 4 wins, really after like 3 wins, you're already there. Like
that's what happened with Francis. That's what happened with Cyril Gane. It's kind of what happened with Kane and JDS. It's just like you just show up and you start beating the crap out of everybody, even the guys with like 30 more fights than you.
So
it's a beautiful division of utter stupidity. Nothing means anything.
I guess the last question before we move on to the next. Where does John go on the GOAT list? This is another notch under the belt. Not a lot of double champs. Not many people can claim that, so he has that under his belt. We're gonna assume that 2 weeks after this fight he doesn't test positive for nothing. We're going to, we're gonna assume that this is gonna be clean. Everything's gonna be good. Is he the GOAT? Is he not the GOAT?
I straight up do not care. Like, dude, it's like we grade these heavyweights on a curve so much because, like, you're not gonna tell me Cyril Gane's a better kickboxer than like John McDessie. Like, can we be real? Like, I like Cyril Gane. He might actually be the best heavyweight kickboxer right now. Doesn't mean much.
Oh man.
And like, I know it sounds like I'm trying to downplay like John Jones' accomplishments or whatever, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, yeah, he's the heavyweight champion, but like, if I can't give Amanda Nunes credit for being the featherweight champion, it kind of feels like the same thing. Because like we've seen like other like heavyweights come up from 205 to heavyweight, and they're just fine. Like we saw Latifi out wrestle Derek Lewis, something almost no heavyweight not named. We saw Latifi and Daniel Cormier out wrestle Derek Lewis. To a guy who otherwise has been unhold downable at like
right.
You know what I mean? Who was it? OSP came up?
Yeah, he had a little stint.
Yeah, and I think he fought Ben Rothwell. It was just fine. Like he had an argument for even winning that fight. Like he lost, I think, but like he was just fine. Like, this is what it's like the Alexander Usyk thing in boxing, where it's just like, if you're a great cruiserweight or even like a moderately good one, you're probably a really good heavyweight. You know what I mean? It's just like, he's not a good division.
Yeah, he's now that we've seen it, even with this small sample size. Yeah, he might be up here for a little bit.
Like, hey, like you're not gonna tell me Johnny Walker could not like knock out what was it? What's his name? Chris Dawkins, who's the number 12. Like, come on. You're gonna tell me Jairzinho Rozenstruik is gonna beat like Jamal Hill? Really?
Oh man. Yeah, bro. Jones might be up here. I think Jones might rule up here as long as he actually feels like it.
Yep.
Because he's actually like, at least with the wrestling, like he's legit like skilled. Like,
yeah.
And that heavyweight, that's half the battle. Like that's more than half actually. If you're skilled at heavyweight in any particular thing, that's about 80% of it. Like,
right.
And the rest is just don't make a dumb mistake.
Right. That's the other thing. Like, heavyweight's that division. It's the dumb mistake division. It's just like dudes implode all the time. We're talking about a guy who the last time he fought for the title went for a heel hook in the 3rd minute of the 5th round of that fight that he desperately needed to win to have a chance on the scorecards. And he did it because apparently he had hit it once before in training.
If at first you succeed.
I don't even remember if we talked about this on the podcast or whatever, but like, heavyweight's the division where dudes implode all the time. Like, it's not that they just make like a bad decision. Like, it's not just one bad decision.
Oh no, it's a snowball effect of.
Yeah, it's a snowball effect. It's utter self-destruction.
Yeah.
And that's because the stakes are so high, because like, you know, it only takes so much to win a, like, you know, got margins for error are so much smaller because you put a guy on their back, they're not getting up, and everybody up there can pop. But like, it's also just because like guys tend to not be as good at MMA as like the guy at welterweight or lightweight or even like middleweight or whatever.
Well, I'll say I don't really do GOAT list. JSP's always gonna be my favorite, so I'm biased. I don't care. But nah, Jones gonna be here for a while. As long as he feels like being at heavyweight, he'll probably be champ.
You know what? We've often said that the sport at 170 and below and 185 above are basically two different sports. So I'll say John's the best fighter ever above 185.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that. But nah, man. I'll give him props, man. Congrats to Jones. I honestly didn't think this fight was ever gonna happen. We've been waiting for so long.
And I've been saying it wasn't gonna happen all week.
Yeah, like it never felt like it was gonna be a real thing, and it was a real thing. And to Jones's credit, he came in, he made it look pretty easy. He got it done and didn't really get touched much at all.
Nope. He did.
Yeah, got in and out. So yeah, we'll see how long this reign lasts.
We'll see how long you stay out of trouble.
Hopefully that too. I do sincerely hope. Like I do not want to wake up tomorrow and see some headline about anything John Jones did that wasn't related to a cage fight. I sincerely hope we don't get one of those headlines.
If anything, just for his family. But like, yeah.
Yeah. And I hope that now, like, he's at heavyweight, it's like a new challenge for him. And then, like you said, he's at a new gym, so I would assume that he's around some new people. Hopefully it's just a different energy, like a something that'll keep him busy so that he's not out in trouble. Like Ja Morant and other people out here, just yeah. But congrats to John Jones, man. That was double champ, came in, wreck shop, went home without a scratch, and I'm pretty sure when Stipe rolls around, we're probably gonna get a repeat. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But John Jones won via guillotine choke in the first round, 2 minutes in. Co-main event.
Another goat.
But this didn't go her way.
No.
Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko for the women's flyweight title. Now, I've been a Grasso fan since like Invicta days. So I'm talking like 2014, 2015. Was happy when she got to the UFC. Wasn't sure if she ever would win a title. She would have good performances, and then she would have some not so good ones. She'd win some, and then she'd lose some. And I don't know, after a while I just kind of think, well, maybe she'll just be one of those fighters that just kind of sticks around in the mix, but might never actually like get to a title shot. But nah, Alexa Grasso pulled up, and this was a fun fight. This was a really good it was a pendulum swing. It started off, Grasso started off really good in the first round. She's really good if she gets going downhill. If she gets to string some combos together. You saw how fast the hands were. She tagged Shevchenko a couple of good times in the first round. So I'm like, okay, all right, we got to fight. This might actually turn out to be something. And then the second round showed up, and Shevchenko started taking her down. I was like, oh, well, I guess this is the fight that we were gonna get. I got my hopes up. But no, it didn't stay like that. I gotta give Grasso a lot of props. Cause I don't know, I feel like getting after that second round, I could see like another fighter's confidence kind of waning, where you have a good first round, and then you start getting taken down. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. But like, she's so good that you can't really like stop it. But nah, Grasso was just, sometimes you just gotta survive and just find a way to make it work. And you just need one little window of something to just go right. And that one little window happened. She had other moments in between. Like I said, when she starts going downhill and she can string together combinations, she definitely hit Valentina a good, little number of times. They had some nice exchanges in the pocket, but that finish was crazy. It happened so fast that I didn't even really, like, I saw it, but I was like, what? Like, Shevchenko goes for the spinning back kick, and in a split second, Grasso takes her back, and I didn't think it was even under the neck, but I guess it didn't matter because it was basically like a face crank, and just boom, over.
She was I don't know if she got like completely under the neck, but once she got that second hand in there behind the head,
yeah,
it just, oof, you could see the torque.
Yeah.
Hold on, was it last week or the weekend before? There was a UFC card in specific where like it seemed like every other fight, it might have been 284 now I think about it, ended exactly like this one, where like, yeah, I think it was 284 because I'm thinking of like the Kulabau Bagdasaranian fight, or the Jack Della Maddalena versus Randy Brown fight, where literally they would like step in, drop their opponent, and then just immediately did what Alexa Grasso did, and just hop on their back and choke them out. And I feel like that was some like really light foreshadowing for what we saw there, because that might have been the quickest I've ever seen somebody grab.
Bro, she didn't waste no time. Like, and it's crazy that happened in the fourth round, where it's like, all right, it's been a grueling kind of fight. For one, like, Grasso's cardio, like, she never looked tired, like, and she was getting like, they were working, like, they were having pocket exchanges. She was getting taken down.
It's the same woman who got like muscled around by Macy Barber,
right,
a little bit, and like lost that third round because of it. And then she was just out here just like still going.
Yeah, did not even look like she was tired at all. Because you got to think, like, after that grueling of a fight, and it's kind of like the pendulum swinging back and forth, you have to be really cognizant of what's going on to take advantage of something in such a quick, like, that was such a quick window because I feel like somebody else, that spinning back kick would have happened, and if that was somebody else, Shevchenko would have just missed. Maybe they just would have backed up or circled out. Like they would have just done something else, and she was like, "Nah."
And that's another thing that so one of the reasons I picked Valentina Shevchenko going into this fight, one of many, is Grasso has always struck me as a typical MMA boxer in terms of just like when the other person like is doing their offense, she will back up and give them space. Like she'll reset basically. And she didn't do that there. She literally like that's a thing that when I used to train and we used to practice the spinning back. That's exactly how you step into that area behind their back where the kick isn't going to be, and you're able to just grab them by the waist. But yeah, she looks so good.
She did.
Grasso, like in especially that first round. But yeah, we talk about like she's doing like long combinations too, like the five. There was like a series where she do like a 4 or 5 punch combo. I was like, wow, I think that's the first time I've seen you do that since like the Mizuki Inoue fight. But the thing that really impressed me in that first round was at the very end, where Valentina was starting to build like some momentum. She was landing with she landed like a really nice body kick right underneath the elbow, and Grasso literally just storms her, which is so not her. She literally just storms her, pushes her like she's trying to take her down. Shevchenko goes to defend, and then Grasso pushes her against the fence, wedges her like forearm against her head, and just starts blasting knees with like 5 seconds left on the clock. I was just like, if you have that type of aggression, like that type of physicality, that's the number one thing you need if you're going to fight Valentina Shevchenko. You need to be able to get physical with her. We saw with Jennifer Maia, and we saw with Tyler Santos. It's just like, oh, when they tied up, these women were really strong, and they gave Shevchenko problems.
I see.
Oh, go ahead.
And also, I feel like what Grasso did is what I wish, and obviously different fighters, different styles, different strategies. But I feel like what Grasso did is I wish I would see more people do in general, especially when you're fighting these champions that have just been champions since like the dawn of time. they seem like they're never gonna lose. Like, bro, you gotta rough them up a little bit, man. Like, cause I don't know. Like sometimes I see people in championship fights and they get like real comfortable, and I feel like they just let the champ fight their fight, and they don't really like. They don't push a pace. They don't try to dictate anything. Like they just kind of settle into a. I don't know. They just kind of settle in, and it's like, no, you're the challenger. Like you can't be the one that's just kind of sitting here. Like,
I mean, we saw an example of that earlier in the night. I don't know if you caught it, but the Garbrandt Jones fight where the second Jones was like, "Hey, I'm losing this fight. Let me try and do something."
Right, he almost won. He almost won. Like
pulling the trigger is like 60% of the battle in MMA. It's one of the reasons, like, as guys get older, like they start to lose. Like, it was a big problem with Anderson Silva. It's just like the windows get smaller and smaller. Your reaction time gets slower and slower, and like you're more hesitant to throw. But like when Anderson Silva did throw, he would land.
Right.
Even like he hurt Daniel Cormier with those body kicks. He was tagging up Uriah Hall in his last fight in the UFC when he did throw. It's just like it's MMA. Like it doesn't matter how good the other person is. Defense is like a tertiary concern.
Right. Just pull the trigger sometimes. And I get it with Valentina. Like we didn't see her ice people, so I get it. You don't want to be like super reckless, but you gotta give them something to respect.
Yeah, and like Valentina's entire game is just like, you are going to step into my range, and I'm going to counter you.
Right.
And I guess I didn't realize this until like they were in the cage with one another. And I know Alexa Grasso has really been focusing on her strength and conditioning, but I didn't realize how much faster Alexa Grasso is. And as well as committed, but like how much just straight up faster she is than basically anybody who isn't Joanna Jędrzejczyk that Valentina Shevchenko has fought. It's like, okay, here's Lauren Murphy, here's Jessica I, here's what's her face, like Caitlin Chikagian, and none of them are particularly quick or athletic. Like Valentina, not Alexa Grasso is like a legit athlete, for all her flaws, and the way she was just able to cover distance.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was definitely a big. I feel like that, especially in the first round. I think that might have caught Shevchenko off guard. I don't think she expected like some of them hands, some of them combos. I don't think she was expecting to get caught with, because normally nobody touches her up like that. No. Not in that kind of way.
Yeah, and Grasso's just ability to switch stances, like just because one of the things I really was like expecting out of Valentina Shevchenko was that like Grasso really needs that. Grasso doesn't faint much. It was one of the things Dominic Cruz like criticized her for in the Araujo fight. Is that she really doesn't like throw anything away. It's like, well, I'm going to throw all these punches. They're going to be at the same rhythm. They're going to be as fast as I can throw, and then you're going to be able to time them. Mm-hmm. And I really expected that Valentina was going to be able to just like inside like kick the crap out of Alexa Grasso as she stepped in with that jab, and then get her down and like crucifix pound on her until the fight was over. But no, she was just like, well, now I'm southpaw. Now I'm orthodox, and I'm going to shoot on you. And that was that you could tell it really. I'm not going to say frustrated Shevchenko, but it really took away a tool that has been like really, really useful for her entire UFC run and her kickboxing career. It was just something she was probably not really expecting, because I don't think I've ever seen Grasso do that.
Yeah, I'm about to say none of us. I wanted Grasso to win this fight, but I would be lying out of my teeth if I told you I thought she was going to put on a performance like this. Nah. I was thinking like maybe she'll have like one moment and then she's probably going to get finished or stopped, and it'll just be another Shevchenko fight. But Grasso said, "No, we got other plans. Yeah. we got other plans." And I love when like one fighter does stuff I want everybody else to do. Just throw in combination, bro.
We have slowly, yeah.
Just throw in, not just the 1-2.
Could have won. Tyler Santos could have had this exact same fight if she believed in herself. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Because some dudes just do the 1-2, and it's like it's not it. Like it might land sometimes, but unless you got like godlike power, the 1-2's not going to get it done. Like you got to hit the 1-2-3, and then like you said, sometimes she done went 1-5. Like Grasso was really like,
yeah, it's not like Grasso was out there like. And that's the thing, Grasso was mostly working with 1s and 2s, but like she was stepping in deep on them. She was they said she was switching stances. And she was like, if Valentina decided to just like plant her feet and keep throwing, Grasso also kept throwing. She was 1-2-1-2 or 1-2-1-2-1 or whatever. There was that sequence, I think it was like in the second or third round, where like Valentina, I think, got the better of it, but it was also like one of those things where it's just like you want to you don't want to give anything to the other person,
right?
Like you don't want to concede anything. If you are a good kicker and the other person's like a notoriously good kicker, you don't want to be like, well, I don't want to kick with this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you got to have that. Let them know, like, bro, I'm here too. Like, yeah. I think I know the exchange you're talking about. Like they went back and forth, and Valentina got the better of it, but it was still like, you're not about to just bully me out here. Yeah. Like if you're gonna throw one, then I'm gonna throw one too.
And there was a very similar situation, where Valentina is back against the cage, and Grasso is stepping in. And that's where the whole sequence happens, where the exchange punch is the same sequence, kind of, where Valentina is back to the cage and she throws a spinning back kick because she thinks it's going to create space for her, and it doesn't. Grasso just goes to her back. Those are the types of things you're like looking to build with those moments. He was really good at that. Henan Barao.
He did that to who did he do that to? I can't remember. But that's a name I haven't heard in so long.
Eddie Wineland?
Yeah, it was Eddie Wineland.
Well, I was talking more about what that mentality of like, hey, it was Hindenbrough and Jose Aldo. When the other person would try to close distance or they would land something that seemed significant. And I think Barao was a little bit more wild with it, which is why he ended up getting knocked out by TJ Dillashaw. They would just plant their feet and throw back. Like, not every single time, obviously, but you have to be able to be like, I'm not letting you fuck with me. And like I said, if Tyler Santos had come with that same mentality, she didn't even have to have that same level of success, but if she was just throwing straight punches down the middle, because she's long and strong, she would have had a much easier time getting to the clinching stages. Because look how easily Alexa Grasso, who I think only did it twice, at the end of that first round and then at some point in the third round, was just like, screw it, I'm going to go and try to get my own takedown. And then had success just putting Valentina Shevchenko on the cage.
You know who? This is super random. You know who low-key I feel like could have had a performance like this? Maybe. I cannot remember her name. Old girl who fought Nunes. The cop. What is her name?
Cop. Oh
my God, what is her name?
Miranda.
Yes. Because she hurt Nunes a couple of times, but it was like if you would just put your foot on the gas like 2 more miles.
The problem with that is Jermaine Durandamy is like a ridiculously, notoriously terrible grappler.
Yeah.
Speaking of the grappling, Valentina Shevchenko, one of the other things I picked her for is just like, well, Grasso's going to eventually just like step into range and just get taken down, and then she's going to get bullied on the ground like she did against Carla Esparza, except Valentina Shevchenko's probably way stronger than Carla Esparza, and will probably pound her out from crucifix. And she got her in the crucifix position, and Alexa Grasso pulled a Homer Simpson.
Right. She literally ran in a circle.
It worked.
It did. Hey, it's what the technique don't got to be pretty. It's whatever gets the job done.
So, like, there's like a thing at like the lighter weights where like guys will get into more brawls because guys down there will have less power than like a heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like you can just like you can always count on like a guy just being like, screw it, I'm gonna take 2 so I can land 1 or whatever. And it's kind of the same meta with like women's grappling, where it's just like they're all super flexible. So like if you're Alexa Grasso and you're like, well, I can be in like a really awkward position and just keep running,
right,
and eventually my head will pop out.
I don't know if I've ever seen a ground run like that. That's like the ground version of Hordecki and I've never seen that before. Man, that was great. That was a moment.
Yeah,
that was a moment.
Mexico has its second champion.
Hey, we need the Mexico card.
I have to imagine it's in the works, man.
Yeah, we gotta have it.
2 champs. They have an interim champion Yair. Irene Aldana was supposed to, or was rumored to have been on this card to face Amanda Nunes. It's coming. I have to imagine it's coming. That, or they're gonna go back to like Texas.
I mean, I'd rather them go to Mexico. I feel like that. I feel like that crowd would be insane.
True, but also the last time they went to Mexico, I'm pretty sure like the crowd was throwing shit at Jeremy Stevens.
Hey.
And that might have left a bad taste in the UFC's mouth. Then again, I'm 100% sure the UFC is going to go back to Brazil, and that they did the same crap in Rio.
Yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever.
Should I pay security for it? It'll be all right. You'll make it up. But major congrats to Grasso. This fight low key made my night because I wasn't expecting her to win. I wanted her to win, but in the back of my mind, I was like, she's probably about to get steamrolled out here.
Yeah.
So
same.
when she won, I was like, my night is made. I'm happy. No matter what happens for the rest of the night, I am A-okay. I'm in good spirits. So yeah, man. Shout outs to Alexa Grasso, your new women's flyweight champion. Pretty sure they'll be rematching.
Yeah. Condolences to Erin Blanchfield, who is a local. So I feel bad, but Valentina deserves that. 7-time defending champ.
Blanchfield will get up there. She's not too far behind. She'll get up there.
She's young. She'll. I have to imagine they'll rebook that Tyler Santos fight, or maybe do her versus Manon Fiorot or something like that on the same card.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. She'll be around in the wings waiting as long as she keeps doing what she's doing. Next fight, which was also a banger. Fight of the night for me. For this one.
So it sucks that Jeff Neal came in at overweight.
Yeah.
Because he missed out.
But Shevchenko Rakhmonov and Jeff Neal threw some hands.
Threw some knees.
Yeah,
Good God.
Threw some hands, threw some knees. I'll say Rakhmonov is a dog, man. For all of his, I would say somewhat defensive deficiencies, he is one of those guys that sometimes his head is just kind of there. It's
like there was a sequence where the camera was behind Jeff Neal, and you just see Rakhmonov's big ass head. Just like he's throwing like a whole it does not move at all.
Does not. It is there to be hit.
And then Neal hits him.
Repeatedly. He hit him hard many of times.
Many times.
Rakhmonov got a chin though, man. Because he took some hits that I feel like some other people just would have just went out. And he was eating them. No, this fight was fun, man. This I had my eye on this fight when they made this matchup. Like I said, I wish Neal would have made weight, but either way, we still got a great back and forth. Another fight that had a crazy, a wild finish. But no, we got a good stand up. Lots of hands being thrown. Jeff Neal, pretty. I don't know why he didn't make weight, but the hands look good. Combinations were crisp. He was fast. He ate a lot more damage than I'm sure he would have liked to.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, Rakhmonov was he's not great defensively, but he does other things that I won't say mask it, but
so many good offensive tools.
Yeah, he can kind of get away with some other things that he doesn't do.
Yeah, and that's the funniest thing is like he does have like when he chooses to, he does have good head movement. Like he doesn't have it on his punches, but like when he's just off at range and just like vibing.
Yeah, he'll move. He shoulder rolls a couple of times to like shrug off a punch or.
Dude was slipping and pivoting and countering Jeff Neal in those early rounds, or he would slip off, grab Neal, and then just knee him in the stomach.
Bro, he was landing some hard knees. He had some straight rights that were brutal. Like I've watched him fight. I guess I didn't realize like how hard he actually hits. Like he was tagging Neal. I mean, they were tagging each other, but it felt like when Rakhmonov hit, it was like, ooh, like that looked like it hurt. that looked a little extra.
There's one knee. It's not the one that like was it wasn't the one that was like in the ending sequence where he had him tied up and then he put him on the fence. Where it literally looked like he just lifted Neal off the ground when he hit him. Like he hopped up like 2 inches in the air or some shit.
Yeah.
Like it hit. One of the things that kind of ticks me off when I watch MMA fighters try to do like knees from the clinch is that they don't do them like instantly. Like they'll like hold on to the position. They'll be like, "Well, I'm in the tie clinch or whatever." Rakhmonov, whenever he got Neal, like even for like a second, it
Yeah,
was
it's
just like
a
a
go time.
firing,
It's a go
firing.
time.
And to Neal's credit, he did a I was gonna say like a good job, but that's probably too much. But he did an admirable job of turning Rakhmonov into the cage a lot.
Mm.
Something that concerns me with Rakhmonov being in a division where guys like Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington and Bilal Muhammad are guys who are really good at pressuring and can wrestle off the cage and but Rakhmonov, whenever he's such a good clinch fighter that he was just turning guys around. He was just turning Neal around almost every single time. And then he would knee him in the stomach.
Must say, and he's always active. Like he doesn't really sit around a whole lot.
Nah.
He's always doing something, throwing something. If you hit him, something's coming back. Like you're not gonna get a lot of moments to really sit and his recoveries. Wow, because I forgot what round it was, but he got hit with like a 3-piece and he stumbled.
Oh, that was the third round.
Yeah.
He tried to counter Neal with like this wild rear hand uppercut and just got clobbered with like a left hook, I think it was.
And he hit a mean stumble. But like 5 seconds later, he was right back like nothing ever happened.
And then like 2 minutes later, he hurt.
Right. It's like, bro, this guy he is a machine. This was almost like one of those fights. Like, man, I hate to see somebody lose because this was such a good these are the kind of fights that you just want to see. Like this was, the Just Bleed crowd, the hardcore fans, everybody won watching this fight. Like this was, I feel like it didn't really matter who you were rooting for. Like you got a great scrap out of this.
Yeah.
And that finish, like, I guess the fact that it was just a standing choke for me just made it like even more vicious.
Yeah, the first standing bulldog choke I've seen since I guess it would be Jan Blachowicz versus Devin Clark.
Yeah, like it's like a choke you put like a little brother in when y'all like wrestling. Like, it's so, that choke looks so disrespectful.
Dude had like 40 seconds left in the fight. Like,
yeah.
You're not taking my 100%
finishing rate. Yeah, no, we keeping this going. But I respect it, man. He's a killer. I respect it. Just we need these kinds of fighters that bring this kind of violence. Like, when he shows up, I'm not trying to outpoint you. I'm trying to kill you. I'm trying to get you out of here.
I was curious how he would look. Rakhmonov. I was curious how he would look seeing the third round because I think this was his first time seeing it in his entire career. And he looked fine.
Yeah, looked good.
Besides getting buzzed, like cardio wise, he was on point. Hope his next fight's like a fight night main event because I'd love to see him in 5 rounds.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, if you didn't know his name before, you definitely should know it now. I mean, I want to see both of them fight next. Like, I'm interested to see what Jeff Neal looks like next. Hopefully, in his next fight, he makes weight. But
he looked improved.
He did.
So I'm hyped for what he's got cooking, and I hope. I know this fight got rescheduled maybe a couple times because I think it was supposed to be on like a fight night earlier last month. And it got pushed back to here. I'm not sure if that was because they just wanted to load up the pay-per-view or if one of them got hurt. But if it was because Neal got hurt, it would kind of make sense that he missed weight, I guess. But I have zero. I have zero foreknowledge about that. Hold on. I have the whole card open right here. It was previously expected to meet at the UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Imanov, but Neal withdrew due to injury. That sucks. So yeah, they were supposed to fight back in January, but I guess Neal got hurt. I mean, 2 months is still. I have no idea what the injury is. I don't know if he was just like sitting on the couch for like a month after that, what the deal was, but I mean, I hope it was the injury that caused him to miss weight and not anything else, because like 5 pounds is a lot.
Yeah, that seems like it had to have been something extra. Because I don't think he, I don't remember. I don't think he has like a history of missing weight. Not that I remember.
Nah.
Yeah, so I'd assume he probably did have, he definitely had other stuff going on. But nah, great fight. Rakhmonov, definitely somebody to keep on the radar. If for nothing else, I mean, still undefeated. And whenever he shows up, it's going to be a fun fight. He's going to put somebody out. 100% finishing rate. Will
eventually get knocked out. Let's be real.
If he don't move his head a little more, I could definitely see him getting into a really fun firefight and then not coming out on the end of it. But he's going, whoever he fights, he's gonna give him hell for however long he's in there. They gonna have to earn it. But no, shout outs to Rakhmonov and Jeff Neal. That was an amazing fight. But Rakhmonov ends with a standing rear naked choke / bulldog choke in the 3rd round. This next fight, this is I'm gonna call this the judging philosophy fight. I'm gonna butcher his first name. Mateusz Gamrot. Probably said that wrong. My bad.
I've been saying Mateus.
Something like that. I'm gonna say Gamrot. Gamrot.
Gamer.
Yeah. Versus Jalen Turner. This is the textbook definition of, do you score damage or do you score control? Because those were the 2 factors in this fight. And these judges decided to go the control route, giving Gamrot a split decision win. How did you score this one?
I think either guy could have won this fight, honestly. So like obviously Turner landed more. He landed the better shots on the feet, but it's not like Gamrot didn't land hard.
Mm.
The difference is Jalen Turner is like a middleweight.
Right. He's like 6'8" at lightweight.
Yeah, exactly. So my thought process was, these judges saw tiny Mateusz Gamrot. He's not all that small. He's like 5'10". Repeatedly take down this 6'3" middleweight, and we're like, oh my god, he's like, we have to give it to him because he's manhandling this bigger man.
Yeah, I'd say props to him for being able to consistently like kind of get in and get takedowns and get and like out, find ways around that, because I think he had a 7-inch reach disadvantage.
Yeah,
something crazy like. So yeah, props to Gamrot.
77. Mateus is 71. So yeah, like 7-6 inches.
Yeah, like he was at a ridiculous disadvantage. So finding ways around it, and Jalen Turner being somebody who actually, because some people are tall and they don't like know how to fight tall. Not saying Jalen's the best at it, but he's still, you saw when he was standing at range, he was tagging Gamrot.
Yeah, he's not the best at like keeping range, but he is dangerous when he's at that range.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, he catch you at range. It might be, and he was throwing kicks up the middle, like he was doing things to try to back Gamrot off, but Gamrot kind of just got that. Some dudes are just animals. Like I'm gonna find a way in here.
Like the damage versus control philosophy. It's so hard with Gamrot because like that man will shoot takedowns for 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if Makwan Amirkhani could do what he does in the first 3 minutes of a fight for 25
right.
minutes. And that is Mateusz Gamrot. Like, he doesn't stop. He doesn't get tired. It's insane.
Lightweight.
He was barely out of breath when they were doing the post-fight interview.
Yeah, this was hard because Gamrot got dropped in the first and second, I believe, didn't he? I believe he got dropped in both rounds.
I think they ruled that first one a slip.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like I was having trouble because I'm like, that kind of just looks like they both collided, and Jalen Turner is just significantly bigger.
Bigger, right? So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that happened again. I think it was the third round. Where like they just collided. I'm like, did he land a punch? Did he land a knee? Or did they just collide and Turner sent him to the mat because he's significantly big? He's got like 20
This is a hard one. I will say I don't think Gamrot won 30-27.
Yeah, no, that
scorecard's crazy. That's a wild scorecard. I remember watching in real time thinking that the judges would give it to Gamrot only because I felt like not only did he got takedowns, and I felt like he was like working. Like it wasn't like I'm gonna just take you and hold you and lay on you. Like he was still being active for as long as they would let him be active, because that was also a running theme for this night. Referees was standing folks up after about 3 seconds.
They're like, we got all these people tuning in to see John Jones for the first time in 3 years. You guys have to be more active.
Right. It's like, bro, John Jones ain't even my fight. I don't care if that's not your fight. You better do something.
We gotta sell these papers.
Right. We need to sell these. We gotta move these units. But nah, like if you said Jalen Turner won, I don't think I'd be mad at you.
No, like he has a legitimate case for winning. And like if somebody gave it to him honestly, there's probably a better argument for him winning 3 rounds than there is for Gamrot winning 3 rounds.
Yeah, and I am somebody who tends to lean more towards damage. But like I said, I felt like not only did Gamrot take him down, but he was working while he was down. So like I wasn't super mad at it.
Yeah.
It's I hate to say it, it's MMA, bro. It's one, like every now and again we're just gonna get one of these fights where
we just don't know.
Yeah.
What to do with it.
You don't know what to do. You don't know what the judges are gonna do, and you just kind of gotta live with it.
I'm going to subtract points from Jalen Turner for being so tall and so big and so strong and still being taken down. So there we go.
There we go.
That should be the scoring criteria. If you are significantly bigger than the person you're fighting and they're still taking you down, even if you are landing, they win the round. That's the new rule. There we go.
There we go. What state was this in? Call like the athletic commission. Tell them put that on page 3. Stop letting these little people take you down, sir. If you are over 5'10" and somebody shorter than you is taking you down, that's extra points on them.
Yeah,
you should do better. But no, it was a good fight though. It was an entertaining fight. It was a fun fight. Once again, it just shows how crazy lightweight is. Talent.
And it shows how crazy the UFC is because they've refused to put lightweights and bantamweights on any of the main cards this year.
Yeah.
We have to get Augusto Sakai versus, was it Dontel Mays?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what you posted that on Tumblr, right? Like the amount of heavyweight and light heavyweight main events we've gotten. Was it just this year?
This is since 2021,
bro. The number is ridiculous.
So, going from 2021 to like now, so it's like what 45 events a year. So it's like 90. Let's just say like 95. We've had 95 UFC events since 2021. Including this one and last week's. I think we were at 45 events that have been headlined by a middleweight, light heavyweight, or heavyweight fight.
It's ridiculous.
That's an entire year's worth of cards.
That should be illegal
in a 2-year span.
Yeah, that should be illegal.
There are like 150 to 200, like 125 to 200, or not 200 to 170 pounders who you could put on a main card and they would deliver like a good quality fight. But somehow we're getting Augusto Sakai, who I watched on like Bellator prelims like 7 years ago. But has been knocked out in like his last 3 fights. Fight Dante Almaze.
Man,
I don't get it.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Y'all just put Jens Pulver in the Hall of Fame. Y'all can't respect the division a little more.
I mean, they also was Jens Pulver the champion when they canceled the division the first time?
Golly,
I don't remember. But yeah, no, more lightweights, less heavyweights.
indeed.
You see, Jones, Gane should have opened this card.
That would have been crazy. Oh man, but fun fight nonetheless. Gamrot won via split decision. A fight that I'm sure people will be divided about for some time, but we'll see both these guys again. Jalen Turner will be back, and hopefully the next person he fights, he'll be able to stuff some takedowns.
Hopefully the next person he fights will be in his height range.
I mean, he was supposed to get Dan Hooker, so maybe they'll rebook that.
He's still like 3 inches taller than Dan Hooker. Wild.
That's as close as we're gonna get. As close as we gonna get.
I want Jalen Turner to be like, well, I figured out that I can't hang at lightweight because I can't hang with these strong wrestlers. So he just cuts to 145.
Oh man. Oh, that just made me think of a tall featherweight. Remember Hatsu Hiyoki?
Yes.
Oh, I had high hopes. Had high hopes for that gentleman. Oh, buddy.
A man who fought Dan Hooker.
Wow, that did happen. Look at how MMA comes full circle. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man. And the last fight on the main card, which is the card well technically it was the fight that opened the main card. The hype, this is the person. I'll say this. I should have led the podcast with this. I feel like since we've retired, I've become more of like a casual fan. I don't watch the Contender Series. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't.
What was that tweet? That Schmoogie tweet. Oh my god! Hold on. No, wait. I have to pull it up. Well, it was the one about like how the fucking Contender Series, like if like you cancel the Summer League,
something like that. Yeah, I'd have to pull it up.
Oh, canceled NBA Summer League and replaced with Adam Silver's Baller Series, where he's just reacting to dunks, but bullying steals and three-pointers. While commentators are like, can these guys deliver the big slam? And that's the Contender Series.
The big slam. Oh, man. That's a classic.
I every time I hear I think of that tweet. I'm just like, I'm uninterested in this person. But Bo Nickal is the exception because I watched him wrestle for the U23 like World Championships like years and years ago. So I'm like, okay. And I went to Penn State around the time he was there. So like, I get it.
Yeah, I say this is the person that the streets have told me this guy's got next up. This is what I've been told.
Did they tell you that he's got jumping roundhouse kicks?
Yeah, when I saw that, I said, I don't know about this guy. And I know he won in impressive fashion, but I could not take my mind off how he opened that fight. I was like, sir, somebody's gonna beat you real soon if you come out doing stupid stuff.
That was like when Paige Van Zandt did that against what was it, Felice Herrig? And she fell, and then and Herrig was like, "Ha." And
right.
then she hit her with the fucking.
Right. I was like, Bo, if you do that against anybody that was not named Jamie Pickett, that might have went a different way. But Bo Nickal, I guess he did live up to his hype. He came out outside of that little mishap of how he started the fight, because that was kind of wild. But nah, he did what I've seen him do pretty much so far. I have seen some of his other fights, like footage of him, so I kind of know what he's about.
I mean, his entire career has been like less than a round long.
Yeah, just kind of bulldozing dudes.
Yeah, which will eventually come back to bite him in the ass, but that's neither here nor there.
For now, it works. I mean, at middleweight, it'll probably take him pretty far.
Oh yeah, dude, this is not like Aaron Pico like fighting at 155 or 145 because like what was it, Zach Freeman?
Right.
Like Zach Freeman's a real fighter. Like no disrespect to JB Pickett, but JB Pickett is like he's the most not what's the word, shocked fighter ever like middle like dude who I think constantly forgets that this is a fighting sport and just like shocked that his opponents are doing offense to him.
I know I remember Jamie's name, and then I looked at his record. I was like, oh, he's lost like 2 in a row. Okay, all right, I see what this is.
This is he lost to Kyle Dawkins, he'll lose to Bo Nickal.
And that even made me more angry at Bo. I was like, Bo, why did you start the fight like that? They gave you this guy to just go tool. I mean, and you tooled him, but that first little kick, I'm docking you some points for that, bro. That was ugly. That was real nasty behavior out there. Don't ever do that again.
See, it's so much easy. Like I kind of get why the UFC like spends so much time trying to like find the guy at like heavyweight or light heavyweight or middle, because it's so easy to just build a path for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are divisions where, because I can find you people that, all right, you can be like it's like 99.9% guarantee you're gonna beat this person.
It's just like, dude, we got Ed Herman in the back,
right? And he's willing to do this for money.
Yeah, he'll come out here after his bender, and just like lay down for you,
right?
Like,
and you can just go make a fool of him, and we'll just go look good and get paid for it, and we'll make sure your profile keeps going up. But Bo did his thing, man. He came out, ragdolled him. He did what Bo does.
Bo knows.
Yeah, Bo knows. He got an arm triangle. I will say about Bo, I do like that. He be transitioning fast. Like he goes out with purpose. Like I said, I like that. I'm not trying to lay on you. Like, no, I'm taking you down because I'm about to do something.
He's in that Chris Weidman vein of like wrestler who took to jiu-jitsu. Except he's out here doing like triangles and shit.
Right. I'm like, bro, he's on his way. I'm always skeptical of hype trains, so I'm not gonna.
If we're being real, he could totally beat Alex Pereira.
That's the thing is, at middleweight, even if he doesn't want to get fast track, he's going to get fast track because it's middleweight, and they don't have any choice but to fast track you because there's no one else.
I don't even know if we're gonna fucking talk about him on this card, but are you telling me Bo Nickal could have beat like Dricus Duplessis?
Yikes! Oh, that fight! Yikes! Yeah, no, Bo was up here. Bo is gonna have a top 15 ranking after his next fight. I don't care who it is.
And based on hype alone, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have a top 15, and I won't even be mad at it.
There's only so many people at middleweight you can just throw at him.
Yeah.
Before you're just forced to be like, hey, you have to go fight Marvin Vettori.
I was gonna say, I hope along the way he can run into the former hype train that was Edmund Shabazian. I feel like that should happen. I feel like he should have to run. I feel like they should make that, because Edmund, it was another guy I was told was supposed to be that guy who I didn't really. I was like, he's cool. I don't really see what y'all are talking about, but okay.
He throws a jab,
right? Which I guess at middleweight, all right. I guess that puts you above. Maybe that puts you above some people. I don't know, but I don't see what y'all are seeing. And then it didn't really work out for them. I mean, he's still fighting, so I won't. I ain't gonna pile on him, but
yeah, these are fucking different. These are completely different sports.
Yeah,
185 and up and 170 and below, just completely different.
But no, Bo's out here handling business. He is doing what he's supposed to do. I will definitely be keeping an eye to see who they match him up with. I'm pretty sure he's within the next 3 years. That guy's gonna be fighting for a belt. Maybe within the next 2, just out of the simple fact that there's just not other people. And
it's him. It's what's his face? Hamzat. it's is there a third prospect?
Yeah, I don't even know if I don't even know if there's a third. But Bo's already got 80% of what you need. I'm athletic. I can wrestle like really good. I'm already better than like 90% of this division.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just get some more experience under your belt. I've seen his striking. It's not that great. Probably will need some improvement.
He's got that Hamzat striking where it's just like, oh, he's big and strong and hits like a truck. But also that's basically it.
It's not the prettiest, but if he tags you, he can tag you. But it's not gonna be the best of technique. It won't look the cleanest, but
does it even matter?
Yeah. I'll just say when you get to the elite of the elite, meaning like the top two, maybe you want to clean it up just a little bit more. But he's over halfway there already. Just keep getting experience, keep doing your thing. He is well on his way. So yeah, not much to really break down that fight. He manhandled Jamie Pickett. Not a lot to talk about. So that was the main card of UFC 285. I had a pretty fun time. Started off with Bo doing his thing, and we got some controversy in the second fight. And then from the Rakhmonov fight on, it was just I'm here for all of this.
Yeah.
Albeit the Jones fight, I wanted to just see a little more, but it is what it is. I wanted to see more, but I also need to be grateful that it was a heavyweight fight and it ended quick.
Oh yeah, no, dude. There's a version of this fight that's just a terrible kickboxing fight.
Right.
This is what I predicted. I was like, here's the thing. Cyril Gane, best heavyweight kickboxer, maybe, probably, whatever. He still could just go out there and fucking lose a kickboxing match.
Right. Like at least we didn't get that. We got the best outcomes I think that we could have hoped for. I guess it could have been worse. It could have been much worse. But that was the main card. I don't want to go through all of these prelims, but we can briefly just kind of breeze through some of these. Cody Garbrandt defeated Trevor Jones via unanimous decision in a fight that he could have lost in about the last 40 seconds. If Trevor Jones literally, because they said like he landed like 6 significant strikes like the entire fight.
Yeah.
If Trevor Jones would have threw 5 more punches, he would have won. If he would have thrown 5 more, he would have won this fight. But he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I get it if you're Cody. Like you're always hurt. You've had a bad you haven't fought in 2 years or a year and a half, whatever. The opponent the UFC keeps trying to give you as a layup keeps pulling out. Shout out to Hani Yaya. Again, you're in there with like a big, powerful dude who like the only way he's gonna beat you is if he catches you. You go out there and you do what you gotta do to get a win and build up your confidence and not look like the Cody Garbrandt of old who gets hit once and then just sees red and immediately face plants. But oh my god, that's not a. The problems with Cody Garbrandt have never been that he's not athletic.
No, he's still quick. He's still quick. He still hits hard. He did things that I liked in the fight, and then, but it feels like something still just.
There's this disconnect where it's like, okay, you spent all these, you played it safe for the majority of like 3 rounds, but by the 3rd round, this guy who literally has nothing for you finally found something, and I don't know if he was like hurt or if he was buzzed or if he got hurt and just was having like PT or he got punched and like started having like PTSD flashbacks to like the fight or whatever, but like he just completely shut down. And he got taken down as a result by a guy who probably shouldn't be taking him down. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't. It doesn't tell me anything about Cody. Like, if he goes out there and he fights a Sean O'Malley, or a Cheeto Vera? What are the odds that he just gets slept again?
I was gonna say at this point, I don't think he needs to fight any of those names. They need to keep him in the lower. And the thing is, with bantamweight, you can say lower echelon if there's such a thing, but bantamweight is so deep that.
Right. And that's the other thing, though. That like the UFC has been super accommodating in getting him an opponent who theoretically could not knock him out. Like they tried to book that Hanayaya fight like 4 different times. And then they booked a fight with Julio Arce, who I love, but is not like a knockout threat at bantamweight. It might actually be like a bit too weight trained for the weight class. So he's a tad slower than he was at 145. They've been super, but like you have to wonder when that goodwill runs out, because they're paying Cody. You're probably paying Cody Garbrandt like north of 6 figures to fight, and they're not going to pay you that much money to get rebuild fights. You know what I mean? That if you're getting like $150,000 to show up and fight, they're gonna want, and you're like on a 75 and 75 or 100 and 100 or whatever. They're gonna want you fighting ranked dudes.
I say they redo the RSA fight, rebook that. Hopefully you can get it.
And I mean, then, if I'm his team, that's the fight I want.
And then, but I feel like after that, I guess depending on how that fight goes, how he looks, if he wins, they might give him maybe not a name, but I'm trying to think of somebody who isn't ranked. I was gonna say somebody like a Cody Stamann, but he's ranked, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think they're gonna have to put him against somebody ranked. Yeah. Or in their minds, they're gonna like. If it was up to me, I'd make him do the Cruz rematch, but I don't think Dominic Cruz wants that fight. I mean, I was gonna say Sonya Dawn, but they trained together. Or
we had Cruz versus Aldo right there.
I could see the UFC putting him in with like Yanez to get Yanez like a name win. Or test out Yanez and see if he's like the goods or whatever, or a good Jack Shore, or Saeed. Like those are the types of guys that the UFC is probably going to match him up with after this fight.
I like the Jack Shore idea. I think it's
a fun fight.
It's a fun fight. It's a fight that he could win, but like
question mark.
Yeah, question mark, asterisk, ellipse, dot. Like. Y'all know Cody's gonna be an interesting case moving forward, but he did get the win, so props to him. You win, you live to get to another fight.
Cody remains the weirdest fighter arc ever. Just like such a gap between like his physical capabilities and literally all the
things that just aren't clicking for whatever reason. But shout outs to Cody. These next couple, we'll just kind of breeze through these.
No.
I don't even want to talk about this next fight.
No.
I'm gonna let you can have this. You can have this whole fight. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was kind of tired during the middle of this card, so I think I missed part of this. I was like dozing on and off while this fight was on, but I wish I'd have just slept through the whole thing, because middleweight is just
this fight. Oh my god! So, okay, Derek Brunson, the absolute mad lad who has the same receding hairline that I did when I decided it was just time to give up and go straight balls. Went out there and he instantly took down Dricus du Plessis. I don't remember the sequence that caused du Plessis to be able to get back to his feet, but he did. He proceeded to shoot on Derek Brunson, and it is at this point Derek Brunson made the fatal error of jumping for the guillotine. Du Plessis got out, and Derek Brunson, instead of trying to get back to his feet, was like, "I'm going to play guard," and tried to go for an armbar. Like, was setting up to go, like, swinging his feet around, trying to go for the armbar. Did not work. instead of trying to build his base, get back to his feet, make some space, whatever, Brunson was like, you know what, this guy sucks. I'm gonna go for a heel hook. And him and Duplessis ended up playing 50-50 in guard for about like a minute. And then Derek Brunson got back on top, like in that rider position that all the wrestlers like. And then the second round happened. And Derek Brunson kind of just looked like Dada 5000 at the end of that fight he had. Where like he was just fighting gravity. Like he was still landing, which is the scary part. But if he had missed any of those punches, he probably would have fallen over.
Yeah.
And just passed out from fatigue.
I still don't believe he actually got TKO'd. I think he just fell asleep in his corner. Was like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah. Shouts to his corner, who was just like, yeah, our guy is he's done.
Yeah, he's out of here.
But yeah, the fight ends with Derek Brunson getting beat up from guard as Dricus du Plessis is like half missing on ground and pound, despite the fact that Derek Brunson is falling asleep. Like, what is du Plessis good at?
I don't know what anybody in this fight was good at. I don't.
Because he's not good at wrestling. He's not good at striking. He got beat up for most of this fight when it was on the feet, even when Brunson was fucking dead tired.
I think he's one of those guys that the extent of the compliments you're gonna get is, oh, he's just tough. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be one of those.
But like, Ian Heinisch was tough, and he didn't beat Derek Brunson. Imagine Derek Brunson's a few years older now. But like, this is a guy who, in his first fight against a ranked opponent, tried to go for a lat drop, and then just like hit a flat back bump, and Brad Tavares just landed on top of him, almost like he tried to pull guard, but he didn't, because Tavares just ended up in like mount. Like, I don't know what Dricus is good at. I don't think he's good at anything, but he keeps winning fights.
It's just a product of middleweight. You don't have to be good at anything. You just gotta just show up. Just show up. Be like be half. Tough. Yeah, be show up. Be tough.
Be strong, I guess, because he's kind of strong. But it's like he got thrown to the ground here by Derek Brunson. Like Derek Brunson. Did you catch the Topuria Bryce Mitchell fight?
I think I did.
It was the one Topuria, like Bryce Mitchell's like on his knees, and Topuria just like twists him down and throws him.
Oh no, yes, I did. That was the one Bryce lost, right?
No, yes.
Yeah. I did see that one.
Yeah, that's what Derek Brunson did to Dricus du Plessis in the opening minute of the fight, and he still ended up losing.
Like halfway through the second round, I was so through with this fight. Like, this is just.
I mean, if we're being honest, so was Derek Brunson.
Yeah, he left around the same time I did. We both clocked out at the same time. Yeah, it was a middleweight fight. That's all.
He was out there moving like a heroin addict. Just like he was swaying like really hard, and you were like, he's gonna fall over, but he's just like, nope.
I hope like he was okay. Like he didn't have like a health like I've seen people be tired, but he just looked like, did you train like did something go wrong? Like, I don't know.
I mean, maybe he's just old. It's like 40 now, but like,
is he 40 yet?
Something like that.
Let's see. I'm trying, but Brunson, I want to shoot you some bail, bro. I really do.
He's 39. He just turned 39.
All right, so yeah, you carried a one.
Yeah.
Golly.
Well, like, I mean, he got tired against Jerry Cannonier, but like, Cannonier put up a fight. We're barely like a year and a half removed from him like out wrestling Darren Till into the third round.
Golly.
I don't know.
It's middleweight.
Okay, that's all I had to say.
Yeah, middleweight going middleweight. That's what that fight was.
That's literally it. Like,
I wish I had more for this next fight. I was also kind of fading in and out during this one, and I was kind of mad because I actually wanted to see this. But back at women's flyweight, Amanda Ribas versus Viviane Araujo. I know I butchered that name, but Ribas won the unanimous decision. From the bits and pieces I remember, it looked like it was a solid fight, but I was kind of fading in and out of sleep.
Ribas, did she drop Araujo, or she just hurt her really badly? I think she dropped her in the second round, like really, like had her hurt really bad, and then spent the entire round inside a half guard trying to bait her into like an arm triangle, and then Araujo was like, "What? No, stop it, stop it." And then they did that for like 2 minutes, and then Araujo was fine. But yeah, no, she this was probably the best Amanda Ribas has looked at in a minute. So go, good solid win.
There we go. And the Marquez fight I did not see. I was actually asleep. Like I was full blown. I wasn't here for this one. I completely missed that fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Julian Marquez. I think this is the end of the Julian Marquez experiment. He did knock out Matt Hamill, but when you are the guy who is known for being like tough, you can't get knocked out twice in a row.
Mm.
And he got knocked out twice in a row here. Cardio kills. Marc-Andre Barriault. Just that second round, he picked up the pace and just started beating the crap out of him. And I want to say he spent like a solid minute and a half on the fence, turtled up, just getting the stuffing beat out of him. Like elbows and uppercuts. I'm going to say Barriault landed like 50 of them.
Mm.
Just like unanswered.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Speaking of beating the stuffing out of somebody, a fight that I did see. Ian Garry versus Song Kenan. Kenan had a good moment in the first round. Hurt Garry pretty bad. After that, not so much. After that, there was a lot of hands being thrown. Not so much from Kenan's side. Garry was putting that work in.
Yep. I was really worried that we were gonna get this fight was looking a lot like Garry was gonna be like Darren Till 2.0, where he's big and he's long and he's tagging dudes at range. He's landing pretty hard, but like he never gets into that like second or third gear. But he once he got knocked down, like you can really tell he's just like, nope, I got to pick it up.
Yeah, he turned up. He turned all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was throwing hands, jabs. He was throwing everything. Kenan's face, his eye was a mess. At the end of this fight, that man's face was a horror show. And that finish was just violent. It
was so smooth too. Yeah. Like the combo, the ducking back, as like Kenan threw the one punch he knew how to throw that left hook, and then the 1-2 to follow it up and just like start really laying into him.
Yeah.
Even Machado Garry, it's a problem.
Gary's good. Well, another violent welterweight person. Just I don't know.
Welterweight. Yeah. We need more of those.
I don't know how far he'll go, but he's gonna put hands on somebody.
Mm-hmm. That's all I want from welterweights. They don't have to be good. They just have to be violent.
Yeah, and he's fitting the bill. So, shout outs to Ian Garry. Definitely impressive win. Cameron Simon versus Leo Mano Martinez. All I remember in this fight is there were a lot of fouls, a lot of nut shots.
We had 2 nut shots and an eye poke. It's great.
Yeah, it was a lot. just a lot of that going on.
Just you guys have to remember that you get 1 free eye poke and 1 free nut shot, and if you don't use them, you lose them.
Right. And Simon used his and won a majority decision.
Man,
So
yeah, because you got a point taken away.
And the next fight at women's strawweight, Tabitha Ricci versus Jessica Penne. Tabitha Ricci won via armbar. Watching Penn fight now just kind of makes me sad.
Penne.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to. Congrats to Tabitha. Did a thing. Got a name on the resume.
She looked good.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing another woman who likes to wrestle in open space, because a lot of them really like to push the other opponent to the cage, go for the head and arm throw. But no, she was instantly came out, got a single leg, took Penne down. So that was cool. So yeah.
Oh, congrats to her. Oh, hold up. I said that completely wrong. At bantamweight, Fareed Basharat and Damone Blackshear. I watched this fight and I kind of don't remember it, but I feel like I was halfway entertained. It seemed.
Yeah, no, it was a solid little opening fight between two guys who I think have 2 fights in the UFC between them. But Basharat just seems like a dude who just doesn't have that violent gene in him to really hang at bantamweight. And Blackshear is a big, strong, physical dude. But he makes bad decisions. He really feels the need he has to wrestle everybody, and Basharat just had an answer for his wrestling game. So yeah, it was a fun little fight.
And the last fight, Loic Rachabov, I know I messed that up, versus Esteban Ribovics, probably butchered both of those names. I remember this fight being really fun, but I don't remember specifics. But it was a good fight to just kick the night off.
Yeah, Rachabov really wanted to wrestle. Esteban Ribovics, I think Ribovics, I don't remember. Esteban really wanted to not wrestle. And he did a really good job. So there are 2 types of undefeated fighter. There's the ones who meet resistance and then instantly crumble, and then there are ones who rise up to the occasion. I feel like he was more of the second one. Was using the Kimura to get out from underneath, and then hurt him really bad in that 3rd round. Just refused to go away, refused to just lay down and let the guy just ride out the fight on top of him. So props to him. I hope I hope he gets taken to a big gym where he can get more rolls in with full blown wrestlers, because I think he's just training down in Argentina.
Oh, yeah, that was UFC 285. Pretty solid night overall. I enjoyed myself for the most part. Couple mishaps here and there, but I would say overall, I got my time's worth. I had a good time, and Grasso is a champion now, so I'm happy. It was something I wasn't expecting, and that kind of made the night for me. So I feel like I had a pretty good time. I guess real quick before we get up out of here. Not that we're recording a pod for it, but next week. Here's the next week. Yeah, next week. We got a fight night card. Jan versus Vashvili. Just pulling this card up. I don't remember who else is really on here. We got Volkov versus Romanov. Okay, the rest of this card we don't really need to talk about. Never mind. But the main event, I like the main event. I like Jan versus Vashvili. I think that's a fun matchup. I'm definitely looking forward to see how that goes. I don't know, man. Vashvili's been spoiled. Well, I expected him to beat Aldo, even though it hurt my heart. This is gonna be an interesting fight, though. I'm going to see how he can push his pace against Jan.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Jan is the quintessential pace breaker. That's the thing he does the best. We've seen that dudes out wrestle him. Obviously Aljamain Sterling did it. Magomedov did it early in their career, but like we have never seen him held in like a single place for a long time, where it wasn't just like Sterling riding his back for like a minute and a half at a time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I have to imagine he's going to, especially in like a 5-round fight, he's just going to be able to create space. Eventually, just stop Dvalishvili from trying to march him back into the fence. But then again, Petr Yan's shown himself to be a bad decision maker, so who knows?
Yeah, I think it's a really like I want to pick Yan, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. But that's why bantamweight is great, because there's so many good fighters, and it makes all these fights just really, really interesting, like style wise, to watch. So that'll be next week, for y'all.
I can't believe you're not super hyped for Alexander Volkov versus Alexander Rakhmonov.
I mean, I'll watch it. I complain about all these fights, but I'll be watching them.
Yep, we're all junkies.
Yeah, we're all junkies. So the sport has ruined us all. But you know what's crazy? We know we had these fights we come out of retirement for, and I'm gonna be honest, I did not think that we were gonna get John Jones before we got Spence versus Crawford, and I'm really disappointed in boxing right now. I'm highly upset. I was for sure that Jones was going to be the last fight of those that we got.
It seems like at the last time we talked, they were like deep into discussions,
right?
And there's like a whole like reason behind that, but that's too long a conversation for today.
Yeah, whole nother thing. But I mean, if that fight, I want to believe that's going to happen. So when that happens in 2025, we'll be back, to talk about it. I know I've been talking about my Discord. I was sick earlier this month or last month, so I didn't work on nothing. But I promise. I know I keep saying it. The Discord's gonna be done soon. When it's done, all the Tumblr folks, everybody, I'll let y'all know, and we can watch fights together and do all that stuff. Real quick before we get out, I want to give a quick shout outs to Bellator, because I actually am looking forward to their next card. Shout outs to this lightweight tournament that's popping off.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be heat.
Yeah, that lightweight tournament. Tournaments in MMA are a good thing. We need more of them. But yeah, Bellator's lightweight tournament is going down next week. We got Usman Nurmagomedov versus Benson Henderson. Going to be a championship fight. Also on the same card, got Tofik Musayev and Alexander Shabili. Should be another great fight. I'm not sure about Moldavsky versus Linton Vassell. Not a great fight, but it's happening.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't heard Linton Vassell's name in a very long time. Or if I have, I just haven't been paying him attention. And then we also got MVP Michael Venom Page versus Gordy Yamauchi. That's another fight I'm definitely looking forward to.
Which is literally just a repeat of Jalen Mateus.
Right.
Here's a 6'3" welterweight versus a 5'10" welterweight.
Oh, you got Eric Perez versus Enrique Barzola on the card. Okay,
and that's a really good fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
That should be on the main card over Moldavsky versus Vassell, but
absolutely. But heavyweight for whatever. Why does no? That's another. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna lead to a rant. We gotta let this love for heavyweight go, y'all. It's not cool no more. Outside of like 5 people combined with MMA and boxing, heavyweight not cool no more. All right, we gotta let it go. This is not.
Glory is doing a heavyweight kickboxing tournament, and it doesn't have Rico Verhoeven in it. So I don't know what the fuck that's gonna look like.
Yeah, we gotta let heavyweight go, y'all.
Yeah, seriously. They don't even do drug testing in kickboxing. How the hell are they so bad at like finding like just in shape heavyweights?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But shout out to Bellator. Bellator's been putting on some fun cards lately. I've been having fun watching Bellator when they randomly pop up.
Yeah,
even at
the next one. Not the 293, which is headlined by a heavyweight fight.
Oh boy,
Marcelo Golem and Daniel James.
Oh no, yeah, we good on that.
No, we're skipping that.
For the most part, Bellator has been Good. And shout out to One Championship. One Championship has been making my Fridays a lot of fun. Even when I don't know the people that are fighting. It's been fun. When is hold up? When is one's? Don't they got a prom card coming up really soon?
They had one like last week. Hold on.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. I think that did already happen.
Yeah, the Andrade versus
Oh yeah, the Lineker Andrade. Yeah. That did already happen.
But the next one is, funny enough, a heavyweight card.
Yuck.
Is this on Prime? Oh my god. Yes, Arjun Bhullar versus Anatoly Malikin. Who Malikin's actually really good, so I'm looking forward to seeing him just knock the crap out of Arjun Bhullar. But that's the card that has Super Leg versus Rotang on it. So.
Okay, all right. Yeah, shout out to One, man. One, if y'all ain't been watching One been putting on. Their Amazon cards have all been fire. The ones I've seen, they've all been really good. So if you don't got Amazon Prime, technically, yeah, technically that's what I'm doing. I'm using my mom's Amazon Prime account until I die.
That's fair.
Yeah, as long as I'm able to, I will be using that account. But yeah, just shout out to One and Bellator, man. They've been putting on some fun cards that I've been enjoying lately. So just wanted to give them a quick shout out. As for us, whenever Spence versus Crawford happens, we'll be back to talk about that. Maybe we'll pop up before then. I don't know. Just sometimes certain fights happen. It might be a spur of the moment. Hey, this felt like something important. Maybe we'll talk about it.
What's the fight what's your white whale fight, Sensei? Where we both just show up.
Hold up.
That's not Spence Crawford, I guess.
Let me pull up this list real quick. Bro, Pereira beats Adesanya again. I don't know. That might. Hey, actually, you know what? I ain't gonna hold you. If Benson Henderson beats Nurmagomedov, I might pop back up. And that card's not. I feel like we would have to.
That ain't fair.
I feel like we would have to.
We talked about one tryhard lightweight who just kept winning fights despite himself today with Mateus Gamrot. And if we're being honest, Benson Henderson was the original Mateus Gamrot.
If he wins that fight, because that's a triple crown, man. We can't ignore that. That has to be respected. If he
WC, UFC,
and Bellator gotta respect it if he gets it.
And he also did he beat Gilbert Melendez?
Did they ever? I don't think they ever fought.
I'm thinking Josh Thompson. That's what.
Yeah. He did.
He did beat Gilbert Melendez.
He did.
I remember now. It was on Fox, and everybody was mad.
Was that one of Gilbert's trash fights that I just like blocked out of my mind?
It's one of the ones where everybody was like, Gilbert won. Fuck.
Oh, yep. I'm looking. That was in 2013. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Well, I completely blocked.
Cormier beat Frank Mir, and Josh Thompson knocked out Nate Diaz.
I completely blocked this fight out of my mind.
So technically speaking, Benson Henderson was at one point the lineal Strikeforce lightweight champion.
Right.
So we might as well just give him like the 4P if he wins. Or the 4 crowns.
There you go. So
it's like the EGOT.
Hey, right. The EGOT of MMA. So Benson Henderson wins another belt. Y'all will be hearing from us again. But that is all we have for today. Thank you guys for listening, watching. This will be up on SoundCloud. This will be up on YouTube, Spotify, all of the normal places. But shout out to the Tumblr homie. Shout outs to the Twitch homie. Shout outs to everybody who listens and enjoys. We're always around in the streets, on Tumblr, on Twitter, both of us. So, if you want to talk MMA, or just whatever you want to talk about, we're around. We're out here. But it is 3 a.m, so gonna go to sleep. But appreciate y'all for listening. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay hydrated out there. This has been another post-retirement episode of the Dojo Talk Podcast. And we will see y'all the next time we see y'all.